once again, we got past another Halloween. Shout out to everybody who made it through the weekend alive. Every holiday season, it's a blanket of death all across America. And we just partying and basking in this shit like it's fun. Um, I didn't always have these feelings about Halloween. Like I didn't always feel the way I feel about holidays. You know what I'm saying? Man, Halloween used to be my favorite holiday, so I can say this shit. It's like when I was a kid, when I was a child, I thought Halloween was all about, you know, seeing how much candy you could get before the night is over. I thought Halloween was about seeing how much candy I could get before the night is over. I used to love dressing up the costumes and shit. Back then we was wearing scream masks and shit. I would always, when I was younger, I'd dress up like ninjas and shit. But once I became a teenager, I just started wearing. I just wear all black and then get like a scary mask, so like a scream mask with the blood gushing out. I know what I'm talking about. Before I continue, man, look, if you end up coming across this page, you stumble across this video, I'm trying to monetize my shit so I can start getting paid like everybody else is getting paid. You know what I'm saying? My content is my content, so everybody don't have to like it, but if you could, you know what I'm saying, subscribe to the channel, that'd be dope. That's free. You ain't got to pay for nothing. And everybody's not gonna like what I'm saying. So this is not for everybody. It's just for the people that feel where I'm coming from. Just for the people that feel where I'm coming from, son. But yeah, man. Back then Halloween was fun. Then I got to the age where I was doing bad shit like throwing eggs at motherfuckers, like egging cars. We used to go egging and shit. We used to do everything on Halloween, son. But then I got older, I grew up. I matured as a man like I'm supposed to. And I started to do my research about what it meant, what Halloween stood for, what it represented. And to my knowledge, it represents fear, lack of faith. It started off as a holiday for people. Their way of warding off demons and evil spirits was by dressing up as them. But that right there alone shows that they look to traditional witchcraft and weird shit over spiritual realm, God, and the concept of God. And these are the same people that say they're Christian. They say they're Christians, but they do things like celebrate the dead. Like Halloween is the Day of the Dead. We celebrating dead motherfuckers are scary shit. Everybody's dressing up like witches and the Joker. You notice that everybody always dresses up as something evil on Halloween. You don't really see nobody dressing up. You don't see no kids dressing up as angels and shit. I mean, you see kids. I'm not gonna talk about the kids. I'm gonna talk about the grown-ups, because the kids are gonna be kids, but the adults that's still dressing up as fucking, you dressing up as Harley Quinn and shit, or the Joker, or Jason, or everybody's dressing up as some weird shit. The fuck, I just saw a rat. That motherfucker look kind of fat too. Everybody's dressing up as some weird shit. What fucks me up about the holiday though is like all year long you hear black people crying about racism. That's all you hear is black people crying about racism and how we're systematically oppressed, You see people losing their sources of income because of their comments about a certain community. I don't want to say the name. And white people have misled us as long as we've been on this fucking planet. They've been telling us false information this whole time. They've been sending us school to give a false education with lies and deceit. We can't even go to the store. Well, I know when I go to the store, motherfuckers act like they don't want me in that motherfucker. I don't know about everybody else, but I know me. I get the nigga treat. People got, we got, we really believe that we're equal. You know what I'm saying? That we finally got equality and shit. So we could go trick or treating and knocking on white people's doors for candy, begging and shit, without getting lynched and hung from a fucking tree. But at one point, we couldn't knock on we couldn't knock on the white people's door asking them for shit. That's their holiday. That's what they do, nigga. We don't do that. So at what point did we think it was okay to start knocking on niggas' doors asking for shit? Just because this is an American holiday, American tradition? But look what America represents. America doesn't represent anything holy or sacred. You know, everything that America represents is evil. And look how we have been treated in America as long as we've been here. Why the fuck do I want to knock on a white man's door talking about trick or treating, asking for candy and shit? You see them talking about it on the news all the time. There's some people trying to poison the candy. There's some people trying to poison the candy. They're finding fentanyl and razors and shit. It's funny because they've been talking about that shit. As long as I've been alive, they've been finding razor blades and fentanyl and niggas candy and shit. I never found this shit in my candy though. My fault. I'm trying to do like 8 things at one time. I never found no motherfucking razor blades and fentanyl on my shit. Never. My candy was all straight. But I stopped going trick or treating, you know what I'm saying? Once I started becoming an adult, 15, 16, I was like, man, what the fuck am I doing, man? I ain't even dress up no more. And at one point, I was one of those guys that was like, I want my kids to have a childhood and all this shit. But as much as I ask myself, what are we celebrating? Why would I teach my kids the same thing that I learned that was wrong? You see all these deaths. You see how many people die on holiday weekends. Sometimes it sounds like the news is happy to report the amount of people that's dead. It's like they get a fucking thrill out of it. How many people gonna die this holiday season? So we had Halloween, that's over with. Now Thanksgiving's coming up next. How many people gonna die this Thanksgiving? My cousin was killed on Thanksgiving. So every year I gotta replay that same call. I gotta replay that phone call in my head every year. So every year I gotta replay the. Oh shit! Hold up. Every year I gotta replay that phone call in my head. As you can see, I'm at work right now, doing shit I ain't supposed to be doing. Man, hold up. Might as well say this motherfucker until I get off. Smoke that shit when I get off. But yeah, man, I'm just having a hard time understanding. I feel like at this point in our lives in America, black people should be on code with how we move. But right now, we're still showing that we are in agreement and participating with the evil ways of this country. And at some point, we gotta take accountability for our position in slavery. It seems like slavery was more of an agreement than somebody actually taking you somewhere and making you do something. We're not moving like they did what they did. We're moving as if we came here voluntarily, like we were slaves voluntarily. We're not moving like we were abused and raped and oppressed. They still talking about the first black person to do something. It's 2022, nigga. There's still a first black person talk, and niggas be happy. The first black person to get a Emmy award or some bullshit. Niggas be celebrating that. We celebrate everything, but we still not free. We still not free.